Good evening, people, or good morning, or good afternoon. We're into December. So cheers to December. And we're here to go through the films that I watched this week, which shouldn't take too long because I didn't watch very many. So we will start with a 2009 film called Nativity. Very British. Set in a school. Martin Freeman of The Hobbit fame is a teacher, and his class is going to put on a nativity. But they have a teaching assistant, Mr. Poppy, who's like a big kid. But he can be annoying at times. But things don't go smoothly, but it ends up being all nice and festive and Christmassy. For what it is, it's alright. I gave it a 6. I didn't mind it whatsoever. The first watch, I thought I'd seen it before, but I hadn't. Probably wouldn't be on the Christmas cycle every year. This one definitely won't be. I know this one's got a lot of love, a lot of fans, a lot of people like it, but it's a slasher film. And I've known it to be a slasher film for years, which is why I've never bothered watching it, because I know I wouldn't like it. But it's Black Christmas from 1974. And guess what? I didn't like it. It's a big pile of fucking gorilla shit. I give it a 3. Not for me. I knew I wouldn't like it, but it's ticked off my imaginary list of films to watch. First watch, only watch. Don't like it one bit. Not at all. Not for me. Then I watched Arthur Christmas. Arthur Christmas. Christmas is a big military operation. You've got this big flying ship. In charge of it is Hugh Laurie. He is the son of Father Christmas, who is Jim Broadbent. He takes care of it. He's got thousands of elves. It's precision to a T. Arthur is the other son, kind of useless and loves Christmas for what it is and gets excited over Christmas. But this big military operation goes wrong because there's one present left over. So Arthur with his father's father, so his grandfather, called Grand Santa, voiced by, I think it was Bill Nighy, maybe, gets in the old Santa's sleigh and they go off and do it the old-fashioned way. It's fun, I like it. It's a 7 out of 10, 2011, animated film. I enjoyed it. Not a first watch. This is also not a first watch. Jingle All the Way. Everyone knows Jingle All the Way. It's turbo time. Give it an 8. 1996. Lots of fun. The Big Show's in it. Love it. I've always liked it. Always. Then a non-Christmas film called The Alamo with John Wayne, Richard Widmark and lots of other people. But, Battle of the Alamo, events leading up to it. You can look at The Alamo online, see what it's all about. The Mexicans, the Texans, the Tennesseans, all that kind of stuff. Very long. And I couldn't watch it in one go. I had to watch it over 2 days, and that kind of pulled a bit of the enjoyment out of it. But I liked it. I give it a 6. First watch, 1960. John Wayne's Davy Crockett. It's all right. There's other John Waynes I'd watched before that. Then from 1983, Deathstalker. Now, if I'm being generous, I can say it's inspired by Conan. If I'm not being nice, it's a Conan the Barbarian ripoff. You've got this guy, the Deathstalker, good physique, blonde, can handle a sword, and he's got to go and get like a mystical chalice and a mystical necklace and a sword of power. At one time, he holds up the sword. I thought he was going to say by the power of Grayskull, but magic and wizards and that kind of stuff. I give it a 4. It's not great. It's got pig men, which it's just a man in a pig mask, but they're called pig men. It's not completely shit, but it's not great. Just watch Conan. It's easy to watch Conan the Barbarian. There's a sequel to it. I won't be watching that. Yeah, just watch Conan. Then, from 2002, I didn't even know this existed. First watch. It's a Very Merry Muppet Christmas movie. The Muppets, in their Christmas theatre, they're going to put a Christmas special on, but it's going to be taken off them. They've got to find the money. Think It's a Wonderful Life, but with the Muppet Theatre. Lots of famous faces will pop up. Some of them famous now. Carson Daly. Is he anything anymore? But I liked it. It's a 7 out of 10. Not as enjoyable as Muppet Christmas Carol, but I liked it. I could watch that again. I could. Then, from 1994, Little Women. Now, this is based off a book, and there's been another one from a couple of years ago, but this one's got Claire Danes, Christian Bale, Winona Ryder, a young... What's her name? She's in Spider-Man. Was she in Spider-Man? A young Kirsten Dunst, I want to say. Was it Kirsten Dunst? I know, that little kid who's in Interview with a Vampire. Her. I don't remember her name. But yeah, all about the March family. And it starts off on Christmas Eve. Snowy, the first see anything putting a Christmas wreath up. So I'm counting it as a Christmas film. I've seen it once before. I give it a 9 out of 10. If it was all like the beginning, I'd give it a 10 because it was better with the snow and the Christmas stuff. But a fine film, old style, fashioned, really, really enjoyable. Just a nice film to watch. And I ended the week with the sequel to what I watched earlier, Nativity 2, and it's got another little title at the end of it, but I don't know what it is. I imagine a couple of years after this, maybe a year after this, some of the same kids are in it, but Martin Freeman isn't. Now we've got David Tennant, and he's the only reason I watched the sequel, because Mr. Poppy is also in it, but he's more annoying as fuck. Like, going to slam his head against the fucking wall in this film. But David Tennant and Martin Freeman are very different characters, very different people. Their acting style very different, and it's more, feels like it's more forced. It felt like it was much more, we've got to go bigger and better, to the point where they find the donkey and Mr. Poppy thinks it can fly. Holy shit. Yeah, just finished it. Probably end up being like, I don't know, 4. Yeah, not that great. There's a third film. I'll watch that as well, because it's got Martin Clunes in it. And I love Martin Clunes. British people will know him from Doc Martin. Older people will know him from Men Behaving Badly. American people will think, who the fuck is that? But that's everything I watched this week. I finished my drink. I'm drinking different whiskey at the minute. This isn't Jack Daniels, it's a different whiskey. Because Jack Daniels has gone up in price. Lots of things have gone up in price, but whiskey, Jack Daniels has been the same price for ages, but I'm trying a different whiskey. It's a Scotch as opposed to a bourbon. But hey, get a Coke and put anything alcoholic in it and drink it. So yeah, never mind. That's what I watched this week. More Christmas films hopefully to come, and I'll see you next week.